Welcome back, you guys. I'm Tassie, and this is my Ghostly Update vlogs. So we're going to start off with this video going through my ghostly updates. Crazy things that have been happening lately. And then we're going to move into some questions that I've been asked. And before we get started, I just want to do a huge shout out to everybody. Thank you very much for all of your support. I've gotten tons of comments and tons of messages and tons of emails. So I am trying to get through them, you guys. Keep in mind, for anybody who is just coming into the scene and you haven't seen a lot of my videos to know my full story. These are my own stories and experiences, and this is nothing like a guide on how to become a shaman. And I'm only speaking for myself and my own style. I am not talking for everybody in the shaman community, and also I am no longer a practicing shaman. One day I will be, but not right now. This is my hiatus. I'm taking a break, y'all. And if you guys are looking for somebody for shaman services, I strongly urge you to find somebody else, especially if you need closure, you have burning questions, you want to know if you're a shaman, anything like that. I can't assist you guys with that because I don't have a shrine for you to properly come and ask. In the Hmong shaman community, we have a lot of rules, and there are certain rules, so you can't just, email somebody expecting a shaman response. Now, psychics do that. Keep that in mind. You don't have to go with like a Hmong shaman. You can just go with the psychic. Psychics in general, they do offer online services, I believe, because I see a lot of ads for it. So I'm just saying, I also know, and I've been told this, I haven't actually gone to myself, but I think there's a Hmong shaman Facebook group. I don't really know what they do, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some shamans on there, so you guys can try reaching out to somebody, seeing if they can offer you guys services. And for a bunch of y'all, quit trying to offer me money. Quit trying to give me gifts. Like, I am so serious. Don't do that to shamans, you guys. I understand people being desperate and they really need answers. They really need help. But I urge you, do not just throw around money. Do not just offer all of these gifts, okay, you guys? That is not the right way of going about it. There will be some people who will accept it willingly. Keep that in mind, but don't do that. It really, especially to certain people who will breed on it, they're going to take advantage of you. So don't just do that. Don't stop it. All right, you guys. So if you guys follow me on my Facebook and Instagram page, Shaman Memoirs, I had posted a photo of the Angel of Death. Now, the people who can see the Angel of Death in that photo, you are typically an individual who I can explain somebody, like just talk about them around you, and you've never probably met them, you don't even know who they are, but you will know all of these things about that person. Same thing if you are a person who can look at a photo and you can see things in that photo. You are an individual who can actually see the Angel of Death in that photo. So, this is what happened. Literally, I was done filming for the night. I went to go outside to take out my trash. All of a sudden, like that part between your shoulder blades and your back there, like on either side of your spine, I felt something like pushing against it. And I was like, what the heck? And then I saw black wings come around me. And I was like, oh my God, there's something here. And I swing around, holding my trash. There he was. He was like 10 feet tall. He was huge. And I remember I was like, oh my God. Like, because this is what I do, you guys. Whenever I see something, whether it be a ghost or a demon, I pretend I don't see it. I just keep walking. I just keep minding my own business. I just keep going with a purpose. I just pretend I don't see it. Because when you see it and acknowledge it, it wants to play. So I was like, I'm trying to slink away into the dark. Like, can he see me? Like, does he know I'm here? And my guides are like, he wants something from you. And I'm like, what do I have that he would want? But he asked me for a favor. He asked me for a favor, and in exchange, he would offer me something and a favor in the future. Okay. Now, in previous videos, you guys, I've talked about how even if you are specifically a Hmong shaman, you can do services for people who are not Hmong. Same thing with, okay, like, do y'all really think demons can only speak Hmong? Demons and ghosts, they can speak different languages. Okay, they're not only going to speak Hmong. You can yell at it in English and it will understand you. I don't know where people get the idea that it can only understand Hmong. But keep in mind, you guys, you can also offer services for people who go to church, who follow a different religion. They can be Hindu for all we know. You can still go into those realms. And I've talked about it before. Religions are different realms. And you can crisscross and you can go in there. But this is the first time something from a completely different realm, its own entity that was not a demon or a ghost, like, came to me. Okay, like, I only do that when I am in the spirit world. When I that's the only time I cross into another realm. Like, bam, I'm here. You know, like, okay, this sounds so hard to explain. I just couldn't believe the angel of death, like, was, like, there. Like, I didn't know what he wanted. Like, it was just really weird. He's not scary. And there's more than one. You guys don't think that there's just one, but he's not scary. But I was like, what do you want? Like, because he's from another realm. And the fact that he could right in front of me, like, okay. Anyways, that was my update on that. If you guys were following me on social media, as I mentioned, I would talk about it in this video. And it's just completely, I was like, I don't know. I couldn't believe it. And that night I was up until like 1 a.m. because I was like texting my boyfriend and I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would he appear in front of me? Like, he could have gone to somebody else for help. But, yeah, it was really weird. And I remember where I saw him, I would keep looking for him. And my guides are like, he's not there anymore. He's already gone. But it's just, like, that's never happened to me. So if you are a shaman and that has ever happened to you, let me know. That something from another realm entirely, from another religion, came to you for help. Like, what? Like, I don't know why. I mean, as crazy as all my stories are, like, that took the cake. Like, that took the cake. Like, and then I posted, like, ugh. You know, like, I've been hearing, like, okay, frequently I will hear my name called. And at work, though, it happened when I was at work, and I was listening with one headset in because I'm on a meeting. And then the meeting, right as the meeting was about to end, I hear my name called, and it's in English. And then I hang up, and I'm like, yeah. And then nobody responded. So I got up, and I went around the cube to go and talk to the other person. Nobody was there. And as I was getting up, I could feel somebody was in that cube next to me. I could feel them. But when I walked around, nobody was there. And it was this weird thing where I felt like my ears were kind of muffled. But then as soon as I turned and I looked into the cube and there was nobody there, and that feeling that somebody was in that cube, like, just disappeared. And it was like my ears popped open, and like, it was like I got hit with a wall or something. And I just stood there like, darn it. Because I don't like to answer. I answer all the time, but I still hate that feeling. Now, I was at Walmart. If you guys follow me on my Tassie Eats page, I had gotten some Flamin' Hot Doritos. I haven't tried them yet. So I was at Walmart and I actually saw it. So I was grabbing it. And then I saw somebody standing next to me. And I was backing up at the time when I saw somebody. So I quickly turned around. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And as I turned around, nobody was there. And I was like, screw you, Walmart. So I left too. But yeah, like, it's been fun past few days. Let's go ahead and get to these questions now. Oh, and by the way, you guys, those kind of experiences, they happen a lot. It's just, and it's funny because whenever I talk about, like, ghosts trying to talk to me and all that stuff, a lot of y'all are always like, oh, why don't you help them? Like, how is that a rational answer, you guys? The rational thing to do is ignore and run away. That is the rational thing. But everybody's like, oh, you should help these ghosts. You can go help them. Like, they do just want help. That ain't my job. Okay? I'm on vacation right now. I do not have time to deal with this stuff. So, on to my first question. So, I was asked about science. People who have autism, people who have cancer, and all that stuff. When do you draw the line between it being spiritual or it's just medical, basically? And I don't know if it's obvious, but I am a believer in science and medicine, Western medicine, because I am a believer in birth control. So, just so you guys know, if I get a headache, I will pop a pill. Okay, I'm gonna take an Excedrin. Okay, and it's pretty seldom I ever get headaches. Like, typically, if I don't get a lot of sleep, that's the only time I ever get headaches. When I'm hungover, I don't really get headaches, but typically it's only due to lack of sleep that I get headaches. And when it's a lack of sleep, though, even if I take a pill, my headache doesn't go away. I have to go to sleep or else it doesn't go away. So just to let you guys know, people will go to a shaman to try and find a spiritual fix. Like, they'll go to a doctor still, but then they'll still try and go to a shaman. And some people do it in whichever order they prefer. Some people will straight up just go to the doctor. When the doctors can't find anything, then they will seek out a shaman as a last resort. Other people do it the other way around. They always seek out a shaman first, and then they will go to the doctors. So you could go and do either or. You don't even have to go to a shaman. The reason why people go to shamans, though, is because of the mental aspect and the mental health of it. And I completely understand it when, especially for elders, they're used to going to a shaman. They're not used to going to a doctor. And I also know a lot of Hmong people who refuse to take westernized medication because they believe once you take it, you need to be on it for the rest of your life, which is true to some aspect. And you also don't really know what's in the medication, but you also don't know what's in those Asian medicine, okay? All you gout people going to the flea market and buying gout medicine, you don't really know what's in there. And I can clearly say that because I know a lot of guys who all go there to get gout medicine. And just so you know, you can have as many ceremonies as you want. You still got gout. Okay. So, I have done ceremonies where point blank afterwards, I'm like, you need to have surgery. And this person did have surgery and they were completely fine afterwards. Now, there are people who do have like egg allergies, who have peanut allergies. So those kind of things, you can do as many ceremonies as you want. I have, from my own experience, I have never ever seen any ritual that has ever gotten rid of a deathly peanut allergy. Even if it's like a tumor, like a broken bone. Like, okay, I've never seen that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've never seen it. But my own guides have told me before when someone needed to have surgery. And they even said that this person will have surgery. And they did have surgery and they got better. It was gallbladder. That's why they had to get rid of the gall. They had gallstones and there was an infection. So they had to get rid of it. So, a lot of times people will try and see if there's like a spiritual or a ghostly thing. But there are times where you just need medical assistance. And I have heard of people bringing people from the brink of death back. Like that I do believe is possible. But, if you got gallstones, like that is no joke. Okay. They say it's like as painful as giving birth. But I have known some great shamans and their family members still needed surgery. Their family members still have missing body parts. Like they had to get a hip replaced and stuff like that. So it's not going to always be that you just need shaman help. Sometimes it's something else. And a while back, I was asked about this and I completely forgot. It was about the car theory. So if anybody doesn't know the car theory, it's basically elders who always say, don't have sex in your car because you're going to break your car. And people were asking if that's real. So I'm going to let you guys know it's not real. What I know is the whole point why they say that is because of the motions of sex can break your car. You guys know how people try to avoid like potholes and stuff like that on the street? And yeah, so that's the whole point of it. Now, I'm not saying people don't not believe in it. There are people who believe in the sex theory. Like, you don't have sex in your car, you might get into a car accident. Like, from myself and my guides, we don't believe in that theory. It's not because you had sex in your car. Okay? Now, what I do believe in is pidakwa. So those who are more traditional and they have a ska up in their house, you should not be bringing anybody over who is not married into the family and having sexual relations in your house. So that I do believe it's going to be a no to the family, especially if you guys have a sika. If the family doesn't have a sika, it's not as big of a deal because there's no way to pee against, because the sika is actually up meant to protect the house. Whether you believe it or not, I believe in the sika. Y'all already know, I've talked about it in my sika video. I believe in the power of the sika, so I don't mess around when it comes to the sika. All right, so then the last question, I'm going to send you guys on a little hunt. Anybody who lives on the east side of St. Paul. The last question was about statues and spirits inside of statues. On the east side of St. Paul, there is a restaurant, an Asian restaurant that has a statue. And it is not of a Buddha. It is of a man. And there is something very crazy in that statue. I won't even look at it when I walk in. And I love getting food from this place. I will not look at the statue. Like, the first time I looked at it and he looked me in my eyeballs, and it was really creepy. It was really creepy, you guys. But he looked at me and I was like I will not look at that statue. But he's on the east side of the St. Paul. Y'all can go find him. But literally along the wall, there's a bunch of menus. So every time I walk in, I look at the ground, and then I look at the menu, I walk around the statue, and then I go to the counter and I place my order. That is exactly what I do. I refuse to look at it. And you can sit down and wait for your food. I just look at the ground the whole time because I ain't gonna look at him. He's real. Like, I'm not the only person who has sensed him in there. And he's not evil by any means, but oh my, it's a heebie-jeebie kind of a feeling, because it's like the Annabelle doll. Why would you stare at it? Okay, like, and that also reminds me, when we were younger, in the story about Michael the Demon from my other YouTube channel, it's like an hour long, you guys. I didn't want to sit and wait for it to upload onto this channel. That's why I've never uploaded it. But in that house, like, after we had moved into the house where Michael the Demon found me, a few months later, my mom brought a statue home. It's like a garden gnome, but it was the shape of a dog. It looked like, you know, those, like, it's not a pit bull, it's like a bulldog, and because it had rolls. It's a huge statue, man. I swear I've taken a photo next to that statue. But there was a spirit in that dog statue too, and I sensed him from when we lived there too. But my mom brought him later after we've already discovered that the house was haunted. So I don't really know if he did anything, but we already knew it was haunted in the house already. But I remember that bulldog also had a spirit inside of it, and he was nice though, like, not like friendly, but he wasn't like evil. Like, that wasn't the feeling that I got. Like, he wasn't like something I was afraid of. Like, at the Asian restaurant, I'm afraid of that one. I am straight up afraid of that one, because he's not gonna do anything like on purpose. But you know, if you look at it wrong, it might assume the wrong thing. So I just refuse to look at it. I just do that thing I always do, just pretend I don't see nothing. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. I will try and get back to a lot of people. I will try, but I've just been really busy at work. I've had a lot of projects coming up, so things have been going great though. And I want to thank you guys for always watching. Until next time.